Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for the invitation to be here once again. It's a little it's a little edgy when you have to come up here and make a presentation in front of all the movers and shakers in our community. But as mayor, that's part of my job, being a cheerleader. Any mayor's job is to be a cheerleader. So hopefully I'll carry it out very well and put all the pressure on Mr. Chapman. I'd like to take a moment to introduce two of our council members that January already has done. Councilor John Camardo. John is in his third year as the city council member. And then Councilor Debbie McCormick. Debbie is in her third month as city councilor. It's quite a learning curve when you become a mayor, and I'm sure as a council member. And with Debbie's many years involved with city government and John's many years with government and boards, it's still quite a bit of learning, and we all learn every day. So I'm very proud of everyone, the way they're continuing to improve. I do want to acknowledge Councilman Rizika, who was unable to attend today, and Councilor Cuddy. City council, myself, we're kind of a diverse group. We may look like we're arguing more than usual. I really believe in opinions, and everyone has one, and I want everyone to express their opinion and what they feel is the best for the city. There's no doubt in my mind that everyone on the council and myself have the city's best interests at heart, and we try very hard to accomplish that. We don't always agree. But I remember one of my grandfather's favorite sayings was, blended whiskey is the best. So with the blended council, we have the best, and we'll continue to help Auburn grow. I'd also like to acknowledge all of our city employees who are here today. Would you just take a minute and stand? Any of our city employees? Doug will be talking about them a little bit very shortly, but without any of them, we would be nowhere. You cannot quantify the resources that they bring to the table and their willingness to work above and beyond, and it's much appreciated. So I'd like to start out with the good news about local projects and business here in the city of Auburn. An overview of projects in Auburn over the past year. There has been $28 million in manufacturing, housing, and commercial projects invested. Major expansions at Mac Studios and Fox Toyota. 15 new downtown storefronts, 175 new housing units, and 207 new jobs. I don't know if Dan Souls is here today. One of our biggest projects is the Plaza of the Arts. $3 million investment, 20,000 square foot of new commercial retail building in downtown Auburn. Expected sales, these figures are astronomical. Expected sales tax revenue from restaurants and retail establishments, $320,000 a year. Payrolls of $4.65 million a year. Banking relationships deposits, $33 million a year. The total project impact of $49.5 million per year coming back to the city, the county, and our community. JBJ Real Property. I know Joe Bartolota is here. I don't know if his father or his brother are here, but $7 million. Significant rehabilitation of 18 downtown buildings, renovating 10 storefronts and 30 housing units. New restaurants, A.T. Wally's and Asteria Salina. This is just wonderful, but local people have enough faith in the city of Auburn, Cuba County, our community, to invest their hard-earned dollars to make this a great place to live, and we do recognize that, and thank you for that. Auburn Woods is being built in my neighborhood, basically bordered by Catlin Street, North Lewis, Standard Avenue, almost to Grand Avenue. That represents $11.2 million investment into 113,000 square footage, going out to 10 units. It's a new market for senior independent living facility. People like me, the baby boomers, we're getting older. We don't want to live at home. We don't want to live with our kids or our grandkids. So it's a nice transition. Mac Studios, Peter Mackowitz, $2.4 million expansion with 12 new manufacturing jobs and 43 manufacturing jobs that are being retained. Along with that, a city sewer collection project, 2,050 linear feet of new 36-inch North Interceptor sewer line along Technology Park Boulevard. Great subject to talk about at lunch, but we wanted to get it on. Those of you who travel out Grand Avenue, I'm sure it's everyone in the room, you will notice at Fox Toyota, $2.4 million investment of an 18,000 square foot expansion of showroom and service area. The Empower Credit Union. Demolition of the Budget Inn, for those who are not familiar with the Budget Inn, is part of the old, originally with the Auburn Hotel, This was addition to that. Then it became the Auburn Inn. It has many different titles. The baby boomers, such as myself, remember the Ivanhoe Room and a couple other places that we heard about as youngsters. So this is renovation of the current Cuba Seneca Action Agency office for credit union offices and creation of drive-through. The Franklin Street Water Main Project. I'm sure everyone in the last 6 to 8 months has traveled up Franklin Street once, and everything going on there. It is quite a project. $4.4 million for the replacement of 5,200 linear feet of 30-inch water line along Franklin Street between the intersection of Prospect and South Lewis Street. The old steel line has been repeatedly repaired with wooden plugs for the last 15 years, and the small section was recently replaced in 2011. It's just a marvel. The bitter winter we've had, and these men are out there working, replacing that water main. It had to be exceptionally cold when they were not there. But this is something that we desperately need to be replaced. We need to have replaced. It supplies water for over 27,000 city residents for the towns of Truth, Senate, and Aurelius, as well as the Cuba County Water and Sewer Authority. And I just want to take a minute. At one point in the operation, members of the Department of Public Works, the Municipal Utilities, Engineering, and Fire Departments worked for a total of 23 hours in one stint, many of them working straight through, to have repairs, doing the things that had to be done so the people in the city and our customers did not lose water service. So 23 hours in this bitter winter we've had is quite a remarkable feat. We're all very proud of them. We thank them for that. York Street reconstruction. See, this is good about being mayor. You get to tell all the good points, and then you have the city manager come up and say, now the other side of the coin. York Street reconstruction. $7 million was spent on a 1-mile reconstruction project. Improve the roadway, install new granite, curbing, sidewalks, drainage, traffic signals, lighting, and landscaping along York Street from North Division to Chase Street. To accomplish this, 21,250 cubic yards of earth was excavated, 13,500 tons of asphalt was laid, 1,000 cubic yards of concrete was poured, and 10,500 feet of granite curbing was installed. When you ask the engineering department what's going on in their department, they can tell you right down to the shovelful what they've done and what we're accomplishing. In addition to the roadway reconstruction, $750,000 was spent on 2,700 linear feet of new high-pressure water line and 3,000 linear feet of new sanitary sewer line was installed. The Mill Street Dam, very shortly this will be coming online. We're working with Siemens Industry and Chant, creating hydroelectricity at the Mill Street Hydroelectric Facility. As you can see from the video, a new 600 kW vertical Kaplan turbine is being installed and will be operational by the end of May. This $3.9 million hydro project, improvement project is partially funded through a NYSERDA RPS Renewable Energy Credit, and the new turbine is anticipated to generate enough electricity to power approximately 200 homes. Just for the record, there's no waiting list for the 200 homes. We're not selling to the individual. We're already under contract with New York State Electric and Gas, where this will be sold into the grid as green power, and the revenue captured from this will go into the city's revenue. So, Another long, cold winter for people working there. Another project that will be completed in May is a $3 million rehabilitation project at the state dam on the Wasco River. This dam serves as the primary mechanism to control water level for the Wasco Lake, the source of drinking water for more than 45,000 Cuba County residents. Requirements for dam safety, new vertical Rodney Hunt lift gates. The project was completed under a NYSEC, New York State DEC Clean Water, Clean Air Bond Act grant. It's getting to be spring, believe it or not, and in June, the Double Days will be starting their annual season. Through hard work, receiving grants, the playing surface for the Auburn Double Days at Frelkin Park is being replaced. Playing field, subsurface irrigation system in Falcon Park are all being updated, repaired. Eventually there will be new lighting. Major League Baseball tells us what type of lighting, not only us, anyone else that owns a ball team, what type of lighting we have to have, how it's supposed to work, where it's supposed to be directed. So, if you look at our ball players, they hate to say it this way, but they're like a thoroughbred racehorse. They have a lot of money invested in these young men, and they want to protect them, and they want to make sure they get the best training, the best facilities as possible. Mike Kusuni is here. He is our new general manager at the ballpark. Mike, thank you. We as Auburn and Double Days are still looking for host cities or host families for their team members. Major League Baseball really wants them to be with in a home with adults. I can't imagine why they would worry about 2 to 4 young men being in a hotel room out of town and nobody knows it. So if you know of anyone who may be interested, please contact Mike. It's very important to us. The Wasco River Greenway Trail. The city will soon have a final design report and first phase construction drawing associated with a 12-mile pedestrian and bicycle trail along the Wasco River Greenway Trail from Wadsworth Street to Emerson Park. The city was awarded $590,000 of U.S. FHWA Tiger II planning funds, as well as $1.3 million in funding assistance from the New York State Department of Transportation. Transportation Enhancement Program to construct a 2.1-mile multimodal segment of the trail from State Street at Curly's Restaurant to the Mill Street Dam. The project is a direct outgrowth of the re-engaging the Wasco River section of the city comprehensive plan. When I was looking at this, I was thinking about Curly's and a trail going from Curly's all the way up to Wasco Street up by the dam. I'm thinking that would have been great years ago when I spent a little more time at Curly's, like some of us others here, than I should have. And I could have taken the trail home. The only trouble is the trail goes nowhere near where I've ever lived or where I go. So I would have to wander back to Curly's and get my bearings and start again. It's a big circle. $2.5 million for the 2013-14 City of Auburn Road Program, which includes a milling, patching, and paving of 23 city streets and crack sealing of 55 other streets. Another program that we're looking into is a pothole lord, where they come in, they have a vehicle specifically made for taking care of potholes. It's been an exceptional winter. So we're looking at that in the very near future. We can, so everybody doesn't have to zigzag no matter what street you're on. It's just, we're going to spend some time in earnest looking at that so it's worthwhile. The city sidewalk program. The city replaced existing substandard sidewalks in the following neighborhoods: Hulbert Street, Brookfield Place, Garfield, McMaster Street, and Clymer from south to Dunning Avenue. The city is investing in sidewalks in order to link our neighborhoods together and create a walkable community that will attract more residents. I should have stuck to the sidewalks instead of the trail from Curly. Our sewer collection improvements. The city is nearing completion of a $2.2 million investment in critical components of the city's sanitary sewer system. The main project components consist of replacing 3,000 linear feet or 3,000 feet of deteriorating north interceptor sewer line from North Division Street along Technology Park Boulevard to the wastewater treatment plant. This work supports businesses in Technology Park, Mac Studios, 4M Precision Stamping, and Volpe. Additional work was completed in the Maddie and Elizabeth Street neighborhoods, Underwood Street and Elm Street. The wastewater treatment plant overflow retention facility. The city this spring will have completed $2.6 million of improvements to the overflow retention facility and supervisory control and data acquisition system in accordance with the Office 2010 New York State DEC consent order. The project includes water removal and cleaning and address chlorine residual discharges. The SCADA system is a necessary computer system that monitors and controls the entire facility-based processes, kind of like an electronic brain for a sewage treatment plant. The system has been inoperable since the mid-2000s due to a lightning strike is now operational. The City of Auburn has received $2.1 billion of New York State EFC's Environmental Facilities Corporation financing at 0% to fund general improvements at the wastewater treatment plant. These projects are critical for the efficient processing of our wastewater, whether it is in repair of leaky roofs or upgrades to the utility ultraviolet equipment. All these improvements work together to protect the environment and make this a better place to live. With that, as I said, I've got to tell you all the good things and all the money we're receiving for grants and all the hard work that's being done to improve the infrastructure and quality of life in Auburn. And now I have the honor to introduce Doug Selby, our city manager. On a personal note, my first meeting with Doug was when we interviewed him for the position of city manager. And I'll be honest, he was very impressive, very low-key. He doesn't offer a lot. He takes it all in, and at the right time, he brings it back to you. He's done a remarkable job here in the city of Auburn. And since that first meeting, there isn't a day go by that I'm not impressed how smart I was to say, let's hire Doug. How smart Doug is. In fact, we're working right now to extend Doug's contract. As I said to the paper, one time I wanted to be quoted in the paper. They quoted me, but they didn't put it in the paper. As I told the reporter, Doug is a keeper, and I hope he stays for many, many more years. Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Selby.